Before you spend $1,000 on a watch, stop. There are 5 specific timepieces under $500 that shatter the rules of status. One of these 5 has a movement you can literally watch beating on your wrist. Another gets mistaken for a $1,000 dress watch every single time. And number 1, nobody ever guesses the price. Starting with number 5. Number 5 is Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. It's the dial. Sunburst patterns that move like liquid under every angle. Blues that shift to violet. Greens that feel almost metallic. It doesn't sit flat on your wrist, it performs. Strangers ask if it's vintage. Friends assume you spent thousands. Seiko's been perfecting this craft for decades. They don't need to inflate cost to prove quality, because the finishing on this dial rivals watches that cost 10 times more. This is the watch for someone who wants elegance without announcing it, who values refinement over recognition, the kind of person who orders the second best wine on the list and knows exactly why. It's not trying to be anything, and that's exactly why people notice. Number 4, Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic. There's a moment right after you clasp the Tsuyosa on your wrist where you realize it doesn't feel like a budget watch. It feels solid, dense, the kind of weight that says quality without saying price. The dial is where it wins. Starburst finishing and colors most brands won't touch at this level. Navy blue, salmon, deep green. They look hand-painted under sunlight. People notice color before they notice brand, and the Tsuyosa gives them something to look at. Seasoned collectors know Citizen doesn't cut corners. Their movements are reliable, their finishing is clean. They simply don't play the luxury markup game. This is the watch for someone who wants mechanical soul without the ceremony, who appreciates craft but doesn't need a waiting list to feel special. It's understated until it isn't. And that contrast is exactly what starts conversations. Number 3, Tissot PRX. Walk into a room wearing the Tissot PRX and watch what happens. The bracelet catches light first, integrated, seamless. It flows into the case like it was carved from a single piece of steel. This is a watch people recognize without knowing they do. The proportions feel familiar. Even people who don't know watches feel it. 1970s, Gerald Genta era, when steel sport watches were made for elegance, not hype. You'll get asked, what is that? More than you'd expect. Because the PRX doesn't look like it belongs in its price range. The case finishing is sharp. The dial texture has depth. Even the quartz version wears like something mechanical and rare. Tissot has heritage most brands dream of. They've just never needed to charge you for the story. It's the watch equivalent of showing up in a perfectly tailored jacket. No logos, just cut. Number 2, Orient Bambino Open Heart. Imagine wearing something that invites people to lean in. The Orient Bambino Open Heart does exactly that. The aperture at 12 o'clock exposes the balance wheel. It beats, pulses, reminds you that something alive is happening on your wrist. Friends ask to see it up close. Strangers comment at coffee shops, because most people have never seen the mechanics of a watch in motion. Here's what most people don't realize. Orient has been making in-house automatic movements for 70 years. They don't outsource, they don't compromise. They just don't charge Seiko prices. The Bambino is elegant, domed crystal, slim case, cathedral hands that belong on watches 5 times the cost. This is for someone who appreciates theater, who wants a watch that tells a story every time they check the time. It's a conversation starter that doesn't need to announce itself. It just needs to be seen. Number 5, Hamilton Khaki Field Automatic. The Hamilton Khaki Field doesn't beg for compliments. It earns them. Military heritage. Clean dial, legible, functional. The kind of watch that looks like it's been somewhere. But here's what people notice. The proportions. 47mm lug to lug. Sits perfectly under a cuff. Feels right in every situation. you'll hear, "That's a nice watch." More than, "What brand is that?" And that's the point. Hamilton supplied watches to the US military. They powered early aviation. Their history isn't borrowed, it's built. And now they're owned by Swatch Group. Swiss movement, American soul, accessible price. This is the watch for people who don't perform, who show up, do the work, and move with purpose, not peacocking. It doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be there. Real luxury doesn't announce itself. It invites questions. These 5 watches don't compete with Rolex. They play a different game entirely, where compliments come from curiosity, where attention is earned through craft, not cost. Because at the end of the day, the best watch you can wear is the one that makes someone ask, "What's the story behind that?" And these? They all have one worth telling. Which one would you wear? Drop the watch name in the comments, I want to see your pick. And if you want more watch content like this, hit that subscribe button. I've got a video coming next week on vintage watches under $500 you won't want to miss. Oh, and real quick, should I make an affordable Swiss watches video in future or dive into Japanese micro brands? Comment Swiss or micro brand and I'll make it happen. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.